Yeah, please confirm if it is visible to you. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is a recent report which I was reading from last 1 or 2 days to prepare myself for this session. AI competency framework for teachers. Right? It is very relevant for us because we all are into this profession, and AI use is not limited to few countries. AI use is widely spread to many countries, right? So when you see this perspective that guiding teachers on AI use and misuse in education, that's an important perspective for us, right? AI use and misuse, right? Many countries even do not have any framework how they should train their, and certainly faculty should be trained on use of AI, right? And this report has identified 15 competencies across different levels, right? So they have identified three progression levels: acquire, deepen, and create, to which they have able to identify the 15, competencies that every faculty must have when they are thinking of. And they have also mentioned by 2022, only 7 countries had developed AI framework for programs for teachers. It is not a surprise for Indians that we do not have as such any guidelines. We don't have any, any protocols. We do not have any, guiding principles in the university who say we should use AI with precaution, or some guidelines to what to use, to what not to use in AI. It is clear. So it is important perspective. This report may give some reflection to our academic body, to our people who are into the academia. It is really needed actually. It is an important perspective because you cannot bypass the use of AI. We cannot. We have to think of AI. We have to think of ethical use of AI. We have to think of AI pedagogy that uses AI, how the AI pedagogy, the student, the learner, and the people who are, so competency framework for teacher is an important milestone for all of us. It is very important for us to understand, while going through this report, I have seen there are on page number going through this. So AI, this is a very comprehensive report of 52 page. It talks about different aspects, competency framework, high level structure. So when we talk about how we should acquire, how we should deepen, how we should create, right? So human-centered mindset. We all are human. So we have to look at whether AI tools are human-centered. Do they understand the human? Do they understand the problem, the simplicity, or the issues that we have, right? The first perspective. Second is ethics of AI. Do we have ethical principles? Do we understand safe and responsible use of AI? How we define the AI rules, ethical rules within the organization is very important. We should use basic, we should use advanced. How we should apply the skills, like we say that should we use AI for course mapping? Should we use AI for CUPU mapping? Like CUPU is very common technology. I have while meeting with some NVA people. So they look for CUPU, course objective, program of our the professor's entire semester is going to CUPU mapping. Sometimes I see faculty literally struggle in mapping of CUPU, right? In that year goes CUPU mapping. What actually go? Nothing. Even sometimes faculty members is not able to defend what is CU, what is PU. They don't understand the meaning of CU. And the course is delivered, course is completed, course is evaluated, student pass the course, student get the, but the CUPU remain a dilemma. So it is important whether how AI can assist us. First, it is just a time killing activity. Faculty members are involved in so many activities which are just time consuming. Faculty members may invest their time in some productive activity where they learn something, they contribute something, and they are now investing their time in mapping theory. It's also exercise that you can do. So how to create? See, these kind of jobs very much can be done through AI tools. Okay? Once you feed with command, easily done. AI-based teaching, AI-based pedagogy integration, AI-based evaluation, AI-based assessment. So some component help us, that help us. We are not fully dependent, but we certainly seek assistance in teaching, pedagogy, effort. And for self-learning, self-development. It is important perspective to support professional transformation, to support learning. I believe that if you save time, if you are really putting your time in productivity, some good outcome will come. Otherwise, our life always go into YouTube mapping throughout our career. So you need time, that is important perspective. You have to define the threshold to what extent I should use AI, I should not use AI. I have to define where I have to publish, not every journal. We have to be confined that we have to decide what should be the rule of the game if I publish, right? Should I publish in good journal? Is a struggle also? Yes. It's time taking also. Or should I go for paid publication because I want to go for shortcut? So today I submit the paper, tomorrow my paper will be published. Within a 24 hours, there are so many publishers who publish paper in 24 hours. So it's important to look at this. So this report, you can download the report or I can share the report later. So this is an important thing that we should know how AI is actually creating an ecosystem of things. We should be aware. When we say ethical consideration challenges, so when ethical, I was reading a research paper. So this has been taken from a research paper, right? So when they say how ethical is AI, they have divided in what is acceptable, what is contingent, what is suspect. So we should use AI in grammar and spelling check. Acceptable. Fine. It improves your reading skill, it improves your writing skill. But even if you are using grammar and spelling through Grammarly, Quillboard, and any humanizing Jenny AI, whatever tool that, but always read once or twice so that you should have at least your confidence that the content is good enough to go. Good to go. Readability. Yes. You can use those software to reflect on your own voice, critical thinking with enhanced readability, but read once in your own critical thinking. So, language translation, yes, but that is fine. AI tools can help you in editing AI translation from your own voice. That is acceptable. No problem. What is contingent? Generating outline from content, summarizing content, improving clarity, brainstorm idea. You can use, but you have to revise it. It's a 50-50 kind of, right? It may help you, but you should apply your own chat. Ensure funnel product reflect your own idea. Ensure AI editing do not alter the key meaning. Ensure appropriate attribution of credit in your idea. Don't just take everything and anything that is generated through AI. That's the challenge. Ethically suspect, not recommended case. Draft the text, entire text, review literature. Don't do that. Yeah. Retractions are happening, right? Paper was published in 2018-20, but retractions are happening for the right. Journal is writing apology. Journals are writing apology for publishing the paper because of not having the tool to retract the paper to identify that there was a lot of fake data has been sent. But now that the tools are available. Ethical compliance, checking for plagiarism, that is equal to so ethically acceptable, ethically contingent, and ethically suspect. So I have read a paper, artificial intelligence. to the academic side. That is because this is a part of the research also, part of research. So when you look at industry, now coming to because I'm into business education, business management, so I always look at business. It's a business, yes, it's a business for the chatbot, for AI powered tools, for intelligent tutoring system, and industry is growing fantastically, growing compound annual growth rate of 31.2%. Amazing. Because they see the potential. We see the potential and people are downloading the app. People are subscribing the app. People are using the app for learning analytics, student engagement, optimizing teaching. And there are a lot of tools, lot of things that are happening from the industry and developers are really paying attention. Developers are developing those tools. So who is driving the market? I was reading a report from there I have taken the driver. Demand for personalized learning. People want to focus on what they want to learn. So AI is actually helping the reader to personalize the reading content. They understand the taste, they understand the preference of the reader. User. And over the period of time, digital education has become prevalent, and especially after the COVID-19. Online classes, online discussion, online meeting, online session, online courses, on. So that has also given rise to the industry of e-learning, digital learning, AI tools, chatbot. They are emerging. But some of the institutions are reluctant to replace AI with traditional methods and they would like to maintain the balance. The challenge. There are a lot of opportunities for demand for AI powered assessment, AI powered suggestions, AI powered pedagogy tools, learning analytics, lot of. In fact, the simulation that we use, now the companies are making simulations for classroom discussions using AI generated content applying different situations. Because I used simulations for my class in marketing, and over a period of time, I have seen the content and the availability of content has grown because a lot of content in simulation is generated through different applications of yeah, generative AI. Initially, there were only two, three simulations, but now there are 10 to 20 simulations. The same topic, the same problem, right? It is happening. But the challenge is how we can control the misuse of AI tools for unethical practice. This is also industry is also realizing this is and gradually the top journals will stop publishing papers who have high number of high percentage of AI writing. So you can see this industry is increasing, and especially you see the Asia Pacific region in the 2030 or 2026. You see the graph, especially for Asia Pacific graph is increasing, and we are in Asia Pacific, and it is true that Asia Pacific region is highest consumer of or the major consumer of North America is also because most of the technology is coming from the north. Whether you talk about Grok supported by X, former Twitter, now see OpenAI, we talk about Meta, they all are coming from North, right? So their base is from North America, and they are diffusing the technology. You look at the segment, there are different segment has been emerged. Learning platform, virtual facilitators, intelligent tutoring system, smart content developers, fraud and risk management, others. So the market is wide. It is not just limited to writing. Market is taking a different way to explore new opportunities. We are certainly affected. You just look at the platform, tools I was talking about, AI tools. So AI tools are categorized. learning management software, Microsoft, Alibaba Cloud, Cengage Group, Aleph, K12, Skillsoft, a lot of adaptive learning tools, Amira, Cengage, Newton, Century, Think. They are the top leaders when we say AI tools in writing, AI tools in education, chatbots, Duolingo. Duolingo is the best example to understand. Basic mobile app has been converted to a very strong AI tool now. Grammarly, AWS, right? Amazon Web Service, Google Scholar, right? IBM Watson, right? So you see automated grading, feedback, Grammarly, great learning, Quizlet, automated questions, grading systems are happening now. Universities are using that. Universities are using OpenAI, content generation. So we are into that OpenAI, Canva. Canva is having AI tools to design your presentation. Quillboard, content writing. Humanize the content. Quillboard. So it is rephrasing the content. Specify, right? Quiz, query for lot of. The entire slide is highlighting. These are the industry masters. It highlights that there are leading players who are investing high into AI in an AI market, especially for writing, especially for universities, especially for this uh, writing businesses. So when you see the market segment, you see professional development program. People can go for consulting also. Consulting it helps in content writing, editing services, instructional services. These all are the part of your AI. And major pie goes to data analytics. Right? So companies are starting their data analytics services, data processing, data collection. These are happening within education segment, within AI. It is reflecting upon the writing industry or education industry. So as a business professional, you should understand that how the industry is growing. So many in the time to come, these companies will pitch our university, our institute to subscribe. And we would be user of this platform because once they pitch the idea and the leaders of the institution agree, have consent. So it will come as a platform and we should be ready. We should be ready to use this platform. Somehow, sooner or later, they are pitching us also. Yeah. Now, I'm coming to some research part, right? So why research part? Because we all are researchers. We are pursuing a lot of research. But this is another domain which has emerged, right? Which has emerged. So you will see, it has become an interest for many people that how we can explore new areas of the writing of research. So I read two papers, AI in academic writing published. So this paper highlighted understanding, how AI helps in academic writing, how AI helps and facilitates in generating ideas, how you can take assistance in your reading, drafting, editing, improve structure, right? Improve your editing and review, right? Assisting in communication. So AI can do many things for you, but you need your personal check also. So this paper highlights, and this is a matter of research also. Those who want to start some research, they can definitely can start a research in public. Yes. AI tools for academic research. It talks about Scriber, it talks about Quillboard, it talks about Semantic Scholar, it talks about Atlas.ti, Power BI, Hyperwrite, it talks about Elicit, it talks about, Mid Journey, DALI is a tool that create realistic graphics, right? Hyperwrite is a tool to generate hypertext. Semantic Scholar is a tool for literature review and purpose is a limited capacity. Elysis is a tool for summarizing papers. Maestra is a tool for transcribing interviews. Right? Paperpal is a tool for writing papers. Quillboard, paraphrasing. A lateral, organizing documents. Consensus, tool for summarizing PDF. So a lot of tools, lot of tools. Uh, my library today morning, and it was good to see that I have in my library a few books are in library which talks about AI. Using AI in academic writing is an important perspective for scholars. Scholars who are pursuing PhD, scholars who are about to complete a PhD, it is very important to understand AI, power of AI, ethical use of AI, responsible use of AI. So if any of the institutions would like to subscribe, these are fantastic books I have gone through in the morning library, the content, the support. They are aligned to the ethical academic AI. That is important perspective. They are not saying don't use it, but how you should use it is more important. To what extent you should use it. There are several tools. Tools will help you, but please give your own thought that this tool is helping, this tool is not. Otherwise, there are a lot of data theft, privacy theft is also happening. These are two other books which I have seen that talks about academic writing and publishing, the craft of scientific writing. These are also nice books which I have seen today morning, which talks about how scientific writing is evolving. Now, the way we started writing in 10 years back, sorry, its writing has changed, completely changed. The structure, the style, the way we approach the hypothesis, data analysis, new methods, new techniques have evolved over a period of time. This is how we see the perspective. Now you see, the checklist. The checklist is important. I will also recommend to use. I'm not saying I'm not prohibiting the use it, but use it judiciously, right? So carefully read if you have any AI policy institution. If not, adapt other standards like ICSR, UGC guidelines on AI use. Check publishers' AI policy and review widely on the website. If you are writing for public, right? Even if you are writing for thesis, your thesis has to check on submitting AI report has to be generated for PhD thesis. It will save your knowledge. Right? Very soon, UGC is bringing up a change in AI. There is a regulation on academic integrity. If you are not aware of, do Google search and download the PDF of UGC regulation on academic integrity. That that the regulation has a penalty for professor. Very soon, they are going to update this regulation with use of AI. UGC team is working, maybe sooner or later, or maybe we are getting new body of from MHRD who will regulate. They may brought. But academic integrity regulation you should download. Everyone should download. If those who are aware of, it's very good. Those who are not aware of, they should have at least have one copy of the regulation. Uh, I'm not sure how many universities are following this, but at any point of time, understand what is permissible. You have to see, as I've seen, what is acceptable, what is contingent, what is not. To develop this, what is permitted, what is prohibited. Use AI tool as supportive tool. Don't find this as a replacement for you. Human thinking cannot be replaced by any technology. Technology can assist. Technology can ease your job, right? Technology can handle complexity to relatively easy, but can believe in your critical thinking. Do take assistance, but don't compromise your skills. Avoid using AI generated figure image visualization. I have personally suffered with this because I am editing a book with Emerald. There are a lot of chapters submitted. and publisher has sent back chapters at the very later stage of analyzation that ask your author to change the images because these images are AI generated. There is no proof of it, or it is created. It is AI. So we wrote to authors again that kindly either clear the image or replace or delete it. Publisher will not take this AI test. It's important for us. I have personally experienced this. Edit all AI assisted content for accuracy. Align your own knowledge, even if it is used through Grammarly, it is used through Paperful, it is used through Clipboard, it is used through Genie AI, it is used through Maestro, it is used through, you know, Paperpie, it is used through Dale, it is used so many tools, so many things which are available. But do apply, align your own knowledge. Include a statement if it is used, AI used in acknowledgement, evidence section. Journal will definitely ask you, the top journals are asked on this. So this is a checklist to understand ethical use of AI. Now, I see few minutes to question answer, and thank you so much. I stop here and I invite question and answer if anyone have or they would like to share their own experience of use of ChatGPT, how AI helped them, how AI created nuances for them. I welcome.
Sure, sir. We are opening the sessions for questions. Anyone who wants to ask questions?
Anyone has any question?
I think not, sir.
I think people are raising hands. I don't know whether it's for question or for what.
Mm. Yes, sir. I'm trying to find that. Sir, the question is from one participant: is AI a boon or for research or not, and how can we use it more effectively?
The chat box? Yeah.
Uh, Somebody has DM me, sir.
Okay, okay. Please pardon the question. I missed the question. Yeah.
AI is a boon for research or not, and how can we use AI more effectively?
Yeah, AI tools are very much into research. You can use research tools in research. What I said, there are a lot of tools which are available to the scholars, but you have to use it judiciously. You have to define the boundaries of your use that to what extent I should use it. When I check the manuscript or any proposal in the system, normally AI said the proposal is okay if it is less than 20%. If your content is going above 20%, it is flagged, the content that specified this content is generated through AI, not written by or written by the AI content only. So it is important to look at the perspective that AI tools are very much helpful. There is no denial that AI cannot help. AI can help, and but it is we as a scholar, we as a student, we have to see to what extent we have to apply AI. I'm applying AI for literature review. I'm applying AI for methodology. I'm applying for writing, improving my English. But remember, journals definitely ask for the data. I'm reiterating, I'm not talking about those journals who publish the paper in 24 hours. I'm not talking. I'm talking about those journals who take at least 2, 3 months time in review, and the good journals always are demand for data. They ask for data, and you have to upload the data on their repository. And at any point of time, if journal feels the data was good, it was manipulated, they can retract your paper, they can reject. Even if this may happen after 4, 5 years, or it may happen after 10. Recently, I have seen some LinkedIn posts where journals publicly apologizing for retracting the paper which were published 7, 8 years ago. And they immediately rejected the paper for data manipulation, cooking the data, unethical use of the data. And AI also poses that challenge. If data is not collected, if data is manipulated, data do not have a significant evidence that creates problem for the student, scholar, or academic. So journals may refuse to accept. Right? Even recently, I'm telling you, journal has asked me an ethical approval from the respondent. Whether you have taken approval from respondent, that you they are ready to fill the survey. Most
Oh,
of the time, we just circulate the Google Docs to everyone, anyone, and we request the people to submit the question.
sir, another participant has asked how
Yeah.
to write an acknowledgement if using AI for image generation in papers.
No, journals do not accept that AI generated content, but if it is a, but for this you have to read the journal policy on AI on their website. Every journal have the AI policy. If you search AI policy of responsible, now let me explore. So you will see that what they uh, allow, what they do not allow, and they do have editorial policy also. So when you see what is important as a journal, so AI is an important like this. Like this is an important question. Let me give you the
Yes, sir.
evidence.
Another participant has asked,
Please confirm. Please confirm if my screen is visible.
okay, sir. So, which is the best AI tool to decrease plagiarism?
Uh, I will not recommend the tool as such, but I'll say that there are several tools. Turnitin is one who helps you to detect, similarity, and one of the software called Authenticate, which is used by TopJet. So there are two softwares I'm telling you. One is Turnitin and Authenticate. They are really helpful for the scholar or faculty before they submit any paper to any journal. They should check once. Please confirm if my uh, is here is visible to you. AI, right? I'm talking on AI authorship. Was the question? So AI authorship, right? So every publisher has a guidelines on AI now because they consider it a threat to the critical thinking, right? You see this AI authorship, right? So LLM such as GPT do not currently satisfy our authorship criteria. Eva, please confirm if it is visible to you.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. So I'm highlighting this line. So it is self-explanatory. Large language model like ChatGPT do not satisfy authorship criteria. It means if your paper is written through LLM model or AI tool, this paper will not pass the review process. Immediate rejection will happen. Immediate.
Okay, sir.
AI use or for AI assisted purposes does not need to be declared. means
This webinar is being recorded.
so people can take little assistance from AI tools, copy anything, means grammar check, spelling check, tone check. He can do it for improvement, but it should not be the main purpose. Include autonomous content creation. General will not. In all cases, there must be human accountability for the final version of text and agreement for the author that reflects their original work. So publishers are very, very clear. They will not accept any chat GPT generated papers. Springer. So I'm taking just for reference. Springer is very clear. Springer is the top publisher. Generative AI images, right? So just look at the images part also. There are certain exceptions too. In what conditions images can be accepted. So the people who are asking the question that whether AI generated images can be taken, they should read the guidelines. That's right. And these guidelines will be different publishers. Emerald will be having different, Springer is having different. So you should use read first before you apply any image in your paper, in your, it may be legal issue. It may be legal.
Sir.
So fast-moving area of generative AI image creation has resulted in global legal copyright and research.
Okay, sir.
That's a problem. That's a problem. As publishers, we strictly follow existing copyright law best practices regarding public ethics. So while legal issues relating to AI generated images, video remain broadly unresolved, Springer nature, thus are unable to permit its use for some. Springer has a clear-cut line. Springer will not permit use of just generative AI. So we should avoid. And most of the publishers will not allow you to adopt generative AI because generative AI images do not have authentic source from where it has been captured or where it has been captured. So when you create the image, many times publisher asks write a credit line created by authors when they publish the file. The author's own work, Emerald, this Emerald word I'm telling you. So Emerald always asks a credit line for figure, for table, and you have to write as author, it is created by me, author's own work, even if the data is generated using SPSS. So author's own work using SPSS, author's own work using smart. They want this credit line for each table, each figure now. So when you download any recent paper from Emerald, you will see this line, author's own work. So it's very true. Humans have to take the response. Authors have to take the response. Otherwise, that go in copyright and research activity. There are certain exceptions. So exceptions can be also followed. AI used for peer reviewers, right? Ethics. There are complete guidelines on website, journal policy. People should use it. Read before. I hope I'm satisfying the answer.
Sir, Sir, one participant has asked, has UGC specified any limit of AI content?
UGC already hashed out their journals. There is no journals by UGC. I think you people are aware
Sir,
about it.
have they specified any limit of AI use content?
ICSSR has. ICSSR, I showed you the format of research proposal content specified less than 10%.
Less than 10%.
Yeah, because UGC and ICSSR, UGC do not have any specific regulation on this, but ICSSR has the regulation. When you submit any proposal to ICSSR, your connecting report has to be uploaded, submitted with that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, but UGCs do not have any journal list, so UGC is not taking any interest in it. UGC का कोई जर्नल अब नहीं है मार्केट में. UGC ने अपना लिस्ट विड्रॉ कर लिया है. तो जो फील दैट कि यूजीसी का कोई लिस्ट एग्जिस्ट करता है, यूजीसी का कोई जर्नल अब एग्जिस्ट करता है, यूजीसी ने अपने ऑफिस ऑर्डर में ये रिलीज कर दिया है कि वो अपना पीयर रिव्यू जर्नल का विड्रॉ कर रहा है. ये इनिशियली कुछ साल पहले उन्होंने अपना दे हैव लॉन्च पीयर रिव्यू जर्नल, वो उन्होंने सब विड्रॉ कर, दे डू नॉट एंडोर्स एनी रिव्यू, यूजीसी नहीं करता। तो अब नाउ दे हैव लेफ्ट ऑन द ऑथर। अब ऑथर ने डिसाइड करना है कि वो कहाँ छापना चाहता है, व्हाट दे वांट टू पब्लिश। यूजीसी विल नॉट टेक एनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बिकॉज यूजीसी में ऐसा था, देयर वाज लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम दैट देयर वाज सो मेनी जर्नल्स हु वर पेड जर्नल्स, those who were taking 1,500 rupees and next day you were seeing the paper overnight publication for happening, right? There are problems. It's not that UGC is a problem. There are a lot of problems that the UGC has withdrawn examples of care list. I'm sure you are aware of UGC care list. It has changed the market. They have withdrawn. I hope tech is over now. Uh,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
believe I have addressed questions of the participants.
Yes, sir. To the
And
most of the extent, they have been answered, sir.
yeah,
Participants, we will have another session by Dr. Ashish Gupta, sir, on Wednesday. So we can have his, you can be an audience, you should be there in the audience then also. Thank you so much, sir. Priyanka, you can give your vote of thanks to sir.
On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker for delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking session. We are truly thankful for your time, effort, and expertise you invested in making this session both engaging and informative. It has undoubtedly added great value to our academic community. Thank you so much, sir.
so
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Nice discussion. I hope the discussion will help the scholars to understand the nitty-gritty of AI, and we should use it. There is no fact we should use it, but we should use it for that. Thank you so much. Good
Sure, sir.
night. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
So now I have to leave.
Yes, sir. You have to
So where?
the webinar and not press the exit button, sir. End the webinar. You have to not to press the end the webinar
So
option.
where I can see the end of
Sir,
webinar?
red button, red phone button.
So it shows me exit actually. The red phone button is showing exit.
Sir, then there is another option. 1 minute, sir.
Can you help
Yeah,
me?
sir, I can do it. I can do it, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, now you can exit it from the thing. Priyanka, you can start, you can welcome Mr. Aman Raj for the next session.
Thank you, sir. Now let's move forward for the second session of this FDP, which is on AI for everyone, prompt engineering and common AI tools. We are honored to have Mr. Aman Raj with us today as our resource person. He is currently working as a senior consultant AI and ML at Deloitte USI, Kolkata. He has a strong industry experience in data science, machine learning, and generative AI, having worked across Deloitte USI and Tata Consultancy Services on expertise scales AI initiatives. Mr. Raj holds expertise in traditional data science and next generation AI systems. Sir will combine technical depth and practical industry insight, and that will help us in learning and building and scaling AI solutions in real world expertise environments. Uh, Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Aman Raj, sir.
Very warm welcome, Aman.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shiva. Thank you, Priyanka. Happy to be here. Happy to engage and engage with the audience on AI. And yeah, I'm hoping that at the end of the session, I might make some people more curious about AI than what they already are. I think we already have so many people, so they should be curious enough. But I would really want that at the end of the session, they should get more curious about AI because this is the next big change that is coming. Okay, so I will go ahead and share my screen. So just give me a thumbs up when if you are able to see it at your end.
Yes, sir. We are able to see your screen. Just an suggestion, please go on the slideshow and start the presentation.
I'm going
It
on the
will give a full
presentation
screen
mode.
view.
Okay, so yeah, the topic for today is yeah, so you can see it now in the full screen.
Yes.
Cool. So I will start the session first by discussing the agenda that what we are going to discuss. So this session will predominantly talk about what is AI. We'll start with like the story of AI, I would say. Anything that you want to learn, I believe that first we should know what we are learning and we should know why we want to learn it. So we will start our discussion with what is AI and why it matters. Then the $1 million question, will AI replace is going to replace you? Uh, and by the end of the session, I think I will be able to give you an answer. Then we will move ahead with generative AI and we will take our journey to agentic AI. Then we'll discuss about some of the challenges and risk of using AI. And then we will go ahead with prompt engineering and tools that uh, you guys should know. And I'll just try to teach you guys how to use it more effectively. So let's start it. So before we go and dive on AI, I want to like get you through some of the major breakthroughs that have been done in humanity, which have essentially changed the way that humans have worked. So at early stage, fire was invented, which essentially was one of the biggest inventions in the humankind. From there, it enabled survival of early men. People learned cooking, and this was one of the major breakthrough. After that, we went agrarian. Humans started shifting to agriculture for food. Then the next invention that came was wheel, where what it did, it revolutionized the transport, freight, and logistic. Then steam engine came and it started the area of industrial revolution. After this, electricity was the another major breakthrough where it enabled factories and it encouraged mass production of the products. Then we came into the era of computer where it automated the calculation and office work. And after that, internet was the next big thing, which essentially changed everything. And now the next big shift is what is the topic of today, that is AI. So why AI is such a big deal now? I think AI has already been there. Everyone should have been like should have heard AI quite a few time back only. But why AI is now making such a big buzz? Why? So I would encourage you to just stay with me for a little long. I am going to answer this question very soon. Now, uh, what is AI? I think we all know what the AI is. We just uh, want to reiterate that what AI does. AI refers to the machine that can perform tasks without requiring human intervention. So it learns from data, it understands patterns, and it is able to take decision it of its own. That is what an high level understanding of AI is. So let's keep it that and move ahead. Now, the question, will AI replace you? And what is the answer to this? It's yes and no. Why yes and no? AI is definitely going to change a lot of things that how we work. There will be huge shift in industry. So that's why I say yes, because there will be some jobs that won't be there going forward, let's say 5 years from now. But it is going, but is it the only thing that is going to happen? Like when computer came, people had the discussion that okay, now what will happen? What again it will take some jobs. But what happened that rather than taking jobs, it created more jobs. So I am very bullish on the fact that AI is going to create more jobs and AI is going to create more employment than what we can imagine at this point of time. It is a scary thing when you hear that is it going to replace you and when you see that what AI is capable of doing. So definitely it raised a lot of eyebrows, but don't worry, I would say what you need to start the wagon that you want to learn AI and you want to use AI so that you stay ahead of majority of people. And I think most of the people are in this session are already following on that wagon. That's why they're here. So yeah, to answer this question at this point of time, it is yes and no. But at the end of the session, I will again come back to this question. Now let's start our journey from generative AI to agentic AI. Okay. Before I start this, up till this point, if anyone has any questions.
Just a suggestion, Aman, we can take the questions towards the end.
Yeah, sure, that would work. Okay, so where does the journey of LLM started? Sorry, generative AI started. It started with the large language models. But what is large language models and how it came into existence? So for those who have followed the history of how artificial intelligence has evolved, at first it was just some heuristic approaches using which we used to do our work. Then came the era of machine learning, where people started using mathematics, and then they built some great scientists built some multiple algorithms, which essentially started the era of machine learning. And after that, the next big thing was deep learning, where where we try to create neural networks which essentially mimics how humans learn. So that's why it is called neural network. And that neural network was the starting point of is the most fundamental basic block of large language model. So, but now again, deep learning came back quite early in early 2000s. So after that, there has been quite a few advancements there. So from deep learning, we went ahead and we created RNN, that is recurrent neural network, which essentially works on the textual data. There has been a lot of developments in the NLP field, and But what changed everything was a paper called Attention is All You Need. So in 2017, some of Google's most bright minds worked and prepared this paper that is called Attention is All You Need. What this paper proposed was an architecture of something that is called a transformer, which is the building block of what we call LLM now. So this was the paper which essentially changed everything. So in late 2017, they come up with this paper on attention and how they defined attention and how they define transformer architecture is something that I would at least need 3 hours to to tell you guys everything. But uh, considering the time that we have today, uh, you can, in the most easiest language, I can say that how it works is that it takes input, which is vector embeddings of the textual data. What are these vector embeddings? You can just understand this as uh, n-dimensional representation of numbers. So how this transformer architecture works is that they have trained a next word prediction algorithm on the transformer architecture, where from input, what they were trying to do is they were trying to pass the text. And from there, at the end, it gives the output probability of what should be the next word out of that text. So if I give my model a sentence like sun rises in, then the next word then for the next word, the probability for the sun rises in east. So the east word will be quite higher when compared to sun rises in west, or let's say any other words. So in this manner, the learning happened on the transformer architecture. And from there, it laid a foundation and the backbone of large language models. So now again, coming back to the large language models. What are large language models? Large language models are machine learning, deep learning model, which has been trained on massive data sets. And when I say massive data sets, it's like you can consider the entire knowledge of the internet, books. So almost majority of the data that you see that has been feed into the large language models, and from there, it has been trained on the next word prediction to build the large language model. Now, I've just explained about the paper on attention is all you need. But if I want to like tell you how even deeper how these LLMs are trained, so the very first step is essentially the data collection, where we collect all the data. Now, the question comes that what should be the sources of these data? So the sources are different books, website, public documents, code repositories, and AI world, we say garbage in, garbage out. So if you give your model garbage data, then you're going to get garbage as output. So that's why the next step is cleaning of the data. So what cleaning means that we remove duplicates, spam, noise, and any unsafe content that we feel that we should not train the LLM on. So at this step, we clean our data. Then the next step is tokenization, which what I was just explaining couple of moments back. So a single token represents a vector representation of multiple piece of words. For example, artificial intelligence. So we can break it down to artificial and intelligence. And these also gets represented in vector embeddings in an n-dimensional vector space. So these are token. So the third step is essentially tokenization, where my textual data gets converted into n-dimensional vector numbers. Then we come to the architecture of what we just discussed, the transformer architecture, where the key mechanism was attention. And what attention does, it's nothing, it's just focus on the relevant words. So whenever, like, even we as humans, we read something, we try to only focus on something that we feel that is more relevant. So similar manner, this transformer architecture works on the basis of attention mechanism. So I always say that when you want to understand AI, you consider AI as it is a super smart kid which needs a lot of guidance. And everything about AI, everything that you want to understand about AI, just take analogy from how human do something. So just like how we as humans uh, while reading something, put attention on particular parts of sentences, particular parts of text. Similarly, is how LLM architecture is also trained. Now, the next step is essentially pre-training, where it worked on the next word prediction, which I just explained a couple of minutes back. Moving on, uh, the next step is essentially what we called as back propagation, which is the very foundation of how learning happens. So we take a corpus of data, we remove some words from it, and we give the right word to the LLM. LLM predicts something, then it checks that what it has predicted, is it correct or not? If it is correct, then okay. If it is not correct, then LLM tries to understand it by changing its weights and some other parameters. Now, I'm hoping that you guys are able to connect what weights are, because this is very fundamental of deep learning architecture. So we have different weights there, where all these weights are getting updated. So this happens for millions and billions of time, where uh, LLM predicts something, it computes what is the loss there, like how far is it from the output, then it readjusts the weights, then it again does the prediction, and so on so forth goes on until LLM start making improvement and gradual intelligence emerges in this manner. So now we have a trained model which essentially is able to understand uh, what text data is, and it is able to predict the next word. But pre-training sometimes is it's not enough. Why? Because pre-training, because next word prediction, when you want to do a certain task, then you sometimes needs to fine tune your LLM based on what you want to achieve from it. Giving an example, suppose that uh, you give you are training your LLM and you want the answer from LLM just be in the format true or false. So you need to train your LLM by fine tuning it on a data set where you give the quest where you give the question, you give the answer such that LLM should be able to understand that hey, for user only wants the output to be true or false, nothing more. So in this way, we want to fine tune our LLM so that we can fulfill what our purpose is. Now, the final step is what we call human feedback. Now, AI generates a response at this point of time. Humans rate it that if this answer is good, if this answer is bad. And based on this, again, weights are adjusted and then model learns, and this process keeps on evolving over time. Now, it's very important that while we are training the LLM, we also consider some safety and guardrails around it. Why? Because the internet has almost everything, right? There are good things, there are bad things. Also, uh, ev- it is full of biased data. For example, when you most of the people in the world use their right hand for writing. There are people who use left hand for writing, but most people prefer to write from their right hands. So when you train the LLM, you also need to consider the biases that it has. So all these things, we want to go ahead and we want to do some guardrails. We need to take care of these things. So when we talk about safety alignment and guardrails, there are content moderation that happens. We do something for bias reduction. We do things for refusal mechanism. Suppose you want LLM to not touch some topics, let's say, which are controversial, like anything with religion. You don't want LLM to go ahead and start commenting on religion. So you go ahead and build refusal mechanisms that, hey, if user asks about religion, don't give any responses which is going to create a havoc. People will start writing and all. So all these layers of safety are added when we train the LLM. And at this time, LLM is ready, and we have our large language model, we are which we see. So moving on. Now we have learned about the LLMs, and we have learned that LLM are the basic of uh, is the very core of generative AI. There are a couple of terminologies that I want you guys to get familiar with because you guys will be you guys should know this because you guys might be getting to working with the LLMs. So the first thing is prompts. I think most of you should be already familiar with it. Anything that you write to your LLM to do, that is something that you can call as prompt. Any instructions that you give to AI is essentially prompt. The next thing is the context window. Now, what is this context window? You can consider context window as a limitation of what LLM can remember at once. Like I said, if you want to consider AI, consider me as a kid, as a human only. So we as human being also have certain limitation that if we read something then only we can remember only some part of it. So context window is essentially the same concept where it is a token count. So essentially, for let's take example for chat gpt. So for GPT-4 or GPT-3 model, you'll see the context window essentially is 128K. That is that at once chat gpt or GPT-3 or GPT 4.0 can remember anything that you fit into that 128K context window. Moving on, we have tokens. So we have already touched tokens, so I'm not going to reiterate. Next is the parameters. So there are three very useful parameters that essentially is there with the LLM. Now, this could be something that predominantly developers work around with, but we now even have Google AI Studio and OpenAI Studio where you can, if you want, you can just play around with this data, which essentially is with which you can get some different results. So let me just give you a brief about it, what it does. So these parameters are something that essentially talks about like how deterministic or how creative you want to be with your output. So we have parameters like temperature, top K, top P. So, and all of them are essentially between 0 to 1, other than top K. So temperature and top P, you can put it at between 0 and 1. A lower temperature means that you want your model to give deterministic results, and a higher temperature closer to 1 means that you want your model to be more creative. Top K and top P are a little bit more technical, so I'm not going to touch that. Essentially, you can play around with it. It is going to it is going to just slightly modify your output. So do play around with it. The next one is hallucinations. And this is one of the major challenges that we have at this point of time with LLM and generative AI. So what are these hallucinations? These are some confident mistakes that LLM makes. LLM, you ask something, LLM gives the output, but sometimes it makes mistake. Just like we are humans, LLM is also trying to mimic humans. It is trying to get better than us, that is for sure, but it still makes some mistakes, and it is very confident about the mistakes that it makes. So we have hallucinations. Now, we have covered generative AI. I think at this point of time, people should be familiar with what generative AI is, what LLM is, how LLMs are trained, and what are some common functionalities around the LLM is. Now you're going to ask me, what an AI agent is and what is the difference between an AI agent and long story short, what is an agent? Agent is an LLM with some tools, but it's not just tools only. You also give some additional sets. First is that you want your LLM to not just answer question, you want your LLM to do planning. You want your LLM to work in the manner that based on your query, it can generate its own thought. In industry, how agents are built is essentially with three triplets. So first is the thought prompt, second is the action prompt, and third is the observation prompt. When these three works together, when your user gives a query, let's say that, hey, I want to generate some code where I want to build my custom portfolio website based on my GitHub profile. So first, based on the user query, LLM tries to generate a thought that, hey, what I need to do. Then once the thought is generated, it checks that, hey, what what I'm going to need to accomplish these tasks. So at the action stage, it will look for the tools that it had. And then once it executes the action, then it is going to go in the observation prompt where it is going to see that, hey, is my task accomplished? Okay, if the task is accomplished, then fine. If not, then I need to redo it. So another thought will get generated. So this works in an iterative manner so that it is able to achieve what it needs to do. So what is an AI agent? An AI agent is an LLM that has the ability to not just answer the question, but it has reasoning ability. It has a thought process. So it works on a goal-based system where user gives a goal, then agent breaks it into steps, then it chooses the right set of tools that it is going to need to fulfill the task, then it executes it in that steps. And at the end of the day, it has the results which it essentially combines and gives back. Let's consider a real world example to what we have just discussed. So a user come first, let's talk about LLM approach. So you can go to a chatbot. In the chatbot mode, a user comes and it say that, hey, plan a 3-day business trip to Bangalore. Then what LLM does it that it comes up with, hey, these are the things that you should do. It suggests the flight options. It recommends hotel, provides you with the itinerary, and give you the suggestions. Okay, but what are the limitations here? Everything that LLM can do is essentially based on the knowledge that it has already learned. Okay, so while training, whatever knowledge it has, it is going to use that. So, but that knowledge, is it enough? That is the question here, and that is the limitations of just you working with the LLMs. Want flight options, but LLM does not have access to the internet. You want flight options. You want real at the flight options that you have at this point of the time, not the data that it was trained possibly few months back. So that it does not have the real time pricing, and you cannot book the tickets using LLM, and you cannot do any follow up action. And that's where AI agent kicks in. So with LLM, you do planning. With agents, you can do execution. Now, when the user will prompt that, hey, plan and book my 3-day business trip to Bangalore next week under 40,000 rupees. So, how the agent will work, that it will search for the real time flights. Then it is going to compare the prices and see the schedules based on the initial prompt that you have given. Then it selects the best option that was there in the budget. So our budget was 40K. So we need flights only up till 40K, not above that. Then it books hotels, flight, it adds itinerary to your calendar, and it can send you the email. So everything that you want is automatically done by the AI agent itself. So with LLM, we just interact with the chatbot, we just ask question, but with AI agents, we are able to do executions. And how this happens with what we have already discussed is tool call. Agents plan what it needs to do. It checks that it has everything that at its disposal to accomplish this task. For example, it want to check the real-time availability of flights. It wants to check the prices and schedules of it. So it need access to the flights API. You want to book tickets and you want to book hotels as well. So it should have access to the flight booking and hotel booking APIs. Let's say Indigo, let's say Make My Trip, Oyo, all these APIs, it is going to need to do bookings. And yeah, we definitely are going to need a memory, because everything that we have just talked about can certainly blow up the context window. So we want things in the memory where whenever we want, we can use it. And in this way, AI agent works. So your LLM is now an agent, which not just can be used for interaction. It can also now perform task. It can also get the job done. And that's why AI agents are everywhere. We are in industry at this point of time, we are seeing all the clients, almost every business wants to automate some of the tasks. So, and how they want to automate is with AI agents. They want 24/7 support. They want end-to-end execution. That's why throughout the industry, we are seeing the shift where there has been huge investments from almost all of our clients. So I have worked with multiple clients in my professional years of experience that I have. And from past 1 year, it has been all AI agents. Currently, I'm like building one, like a huge AI agent, which essentially is going to do the job of what a strategy consultant does. So IIMs, all the IIMs graduates gets into management consulting, and initially, let's say they come with a problem statement. A client comes, let's say it's Walmart. Walmart asks that, hey, I have businesses in US, but I want to expand my business in India. So what should be the steps that I should do? So these are the kind of problem statements that strategy consultants get. Now the work that I'm doing is I'm trying to automate this. I'm trying to build an agent which essentially will be able to accomplish this. This is one of the examples of the work that is going on in the industry, and there are multiple such examples. Almost you might have seen that uh, in the AI landscape. In you, almost all the company have moved away from human support to a chatbot based support. So this is what has been going on in industry. The major shift has already happened, or it is happening at this point of time. Okay, now let's talk about challenges and risk of using AI. We talked about hallucinations, where AIs sound confident, but it is wrong. This is one of the problems that we have with AI. That's why it needs human. Anything that AI generates, it needs human to have a look on it. Especially if you go ahead and you want to generate some stats, AI will start quoting some stats based on the historical data that it has, but that stats could be wrong. And how you can just cross-check that as well is that, let's say you have asked an LLM that you want some stats from XYZ. Now just ask it again 2 or 3 times. And if you're seeing that that number, that stats that it is generating, you will see that it sometimes changes. Then in that way, you will be able to understand that, hey, possibly there is a case of hallucination here. I might need to look if AI is giving me the wrong information. So hallucination is a big challenge that is there with AI at this point of time. Now, next is the bias. We have already discussed the biases. So I'll take the same example. Most people write with right hand, not with left hand. You go ahead and you tell AI that draw me a picture where a human is writing from right hand, sorry, left hand. If the AI has been trained properly, it will be, and like they have taken care of the biases, then it should be able to generate you a picture where human is writing from its left hand. But if the biases has not been taken care of, it will definitely generate a picture where human is writing from right hand. And I would encourage you to that after this session, just go and try the same prompt where you just go and ask LLM to generate a picture. You try this with ChatGPT, Gemini, and just see what output it is going to give. Now, the next is that lack of true understanding. So I think this can be clubbed with hallucination as well. So It predicts patterns, but it does not reason it like humans. So LLM lacks true understanding because it is trained on data. It does not have humans' intelligence, empathy, and all these other qualities. Now, over resilience, data privacy, limited accountability can all be clubbed together. AI, we need human there. Data privacy is also something that almost all the countries, especially in the industry, are worried about at this point of time. We now, all these big giants, OpenAI, Google, Claude, Grok, they say that they don't use our data, but like there's no way to verify that if they are using our data or not. So data privacy is always a concern. So long story short, challenges with AI, the risk of using AI. AI is very powerful, but it must be used responsibility and with a human in the loop. You just don't blindly rely on what AI is generating. So with this, we have ended our journey from generative AI to agentic AI. And the next big thing and the next topic that we are going to discuss is prompt engineering. So just a second, let me strings. Yeah. So prompt engineering. This is perhaps the most important thing and most important skill that you need to learn when you're using AI, when you want to work with AI. A good prompt engineer can get the outputs in the manner that he wants. Like he can, like a good prompt engineer can literally get responses from AI that a normal user just can't. You need to learn prompt engineering because if you want the best output from AI, prompt engineering is something that you need to do. So when I talk about prompt engineering, what exactly it is? It is the art of telling the LLM what it needs to do to give you the best response. Let's just consider one example that I have given here, that you want to write a LinkedIn post about AI. A simple user will just go ahead and say, write a LinkedIn post about AI. But what a good prompt engineer will do, it will tell the LLM that, hey, act as a tech consultant, write a LinkedIn post in this much words, explain how AI is changing every day we work, consider the audience to be non-technical as well, and use a friendly tone and generate some questions which could be thought-provoking. So, what is a good prompt? Like how you can say that this is a good prompt and the first one is a bad prompt. So let's look into that. What is the recipe to write a good prompt? So a good prompt clearly defines what there is the role of AI here. Always try to assign a role to your AI. Let's say you are a coder like me and you want AI to generate code. So the first thing that I will tell my LLM that, hey, act as a Python developer. Okay, so now LLM knows that what it needs to act as. The next thing is that I will define a task, that what I need to do. So for example, I will give it a task that I want to write a machine learning algorithm on this data, and I will give it the data. And I can also be more specific here that, hey, I want this data to give me time series analysis. I would give some context, which is nothing but background information. I will tell that, hey, this data is essentially the stock prices of XYZ company from past this years. I will give some context so that it is able to understand what this data is all about. I can give some constraints, like which could be some rules, tone, length. Let's say if I'm writing a post, then I need to give the tone. Let's say I'm doing coding, so I can give some Python standards. I would say that, hey, use Python PEP 8, which is an internationally adopted standard that is there. Now, the format, how I want my output to be. So I would ask that, hey, I want my Python output, my output to be a Python code which is executable. And then possibly I will give some examples as well. That, hey, this is this is the this is how the output format is. I will write some Python functions and I will mention that you need to write the output functions in this manner. So this is what a good prompt would look like. It should have a clear role. It should have a task. You add context. You give constraints. You can also add guardrails here in constraints. Then you give the output format and you go ahead and give some examples. There is one very good link that I have attached in the glossaries where you can go and read about the best practices for prompt engineering, and this is from OpenAI. So it has certain points. So let's just cover it now. I think we have some time, so we'll cover it. So first thing first is try always to use the latest model. Uh, Now, sometimes this is not possible because sometimes you need some subscription around it. So, but yeah, like to get the best results, always try to use the latest model as much as you can. But if you are having a free subscription, then go ahead and use whatever is at your disposal. Next is that put instructions at the beginning of the prompt and use some kind of separator, like hash or these doc string to separate the instruction and the context. So let's say that this is how you write summarized text below. And this is a bad example where you're not covering it inside any quotes or inside hash symbols. But if you do it here in this way, LLMs works more effectively. Now, the third point is that be specific, descriptive, and detailed as possible about the output, the desired content, outcome, length, etc. I think we already discussed this with our example that we had here. Then articulate the desired output format, which we already discussed, that always try to give the output format so that LLM is able to generate the results in the manner that you want. Then start with zero shot, few shot, and neither of them. Okay, but what is zero shot and few shot? So zero shot and few shot are nothing but prompting techniques where zero shot means that you don't give any example to the LLM on how you want the output to be. And few shot is that you add few examples. So here, as you can see here, the task is that you want to extract keywords from the corresponding text. User will provide text here, and what keywords needs to be come out is not something that has been given here in the zero shot example, but in the few shot you see that it has the text, that this is the, in the example we covered that this is a text and this is the keywords that I want from the text. This is the text 2 and these are the keywords that I want from text 2. So you go ahead, you start it with zero shot, then try few shot and see how it is working. And if neither of them is working, then we go ahead and use fine tuning techniques. Fine tuning is something that uh, is more cost involved. Like you need to uh, readjust weights of the LLM. So it is, it involves quite a few cost and it is pretty much cost intensive. So that's why this is the approach we follow. Predominantly, you will, like very rarely you will see an instance on of fine tuning. Now the LLMs have become so good that zero shot and few shot works very fine. Now the next is that reduce fluffy and impress and impressive descriptions. So give give fairly deterministic things, like I don't put anything which is a bit ambiguous. The description of this product should be fairly short, few sentences, not too much more. So this is pretty much ambiguous, like fairly short, but what is fairly short? Fairly short can be different in different context. Few sentences, okay, 5 sentences, 2 sentences, 10 sentences. So it's always better to give straight instruction, like use 3 to 5 sentence paragraph to describe the this product. Here it clearly defines that, hey, I need this many sentences. So this will always generate better result than this. Instead of just saying what not to do, say what to do. Now, let's again come back to the example where I say, always consider AI as human. And when we say human to not do something, the chances are that they are going to do it. And you can't ask uh, someone to just not think about anything. Like if I just tell you that, hey, your job is to not think, but the very first thing that you do is that, hey, I have not to think about an elephant, so I have already thought about elephant, right? So never just say that what not need to be done, and better to say what to be done. I will not say that don't think about elephant. I will say think about lion. So now you're thinking about lion. So in this manner, we get better responses, that we don't just say that, hey, do not do this, do not this. It's always better to mention that what you need to do rather than what you not need to do. The next is code generation specific. Use leading words to nudge model toward a particular pattern. So while you are asking to write any code, you see in the example, it talks about adding import hints to model that it should start writing in Python. And when you when you give these kind of instruction, uh, you mention that, hey, just write a Python function that can do XYZ. But at least that if you give it some if you give it some more context around here, like, hey, if you want to have added import statements, okay, import statement is something that essentially Python functions is going to use. That means that there should already be a function which could be taking care of this. So I would rather just import it than rewrite it down. Similarly, it has given for the select statement that, hey, it is a good hint that this is the start of the SQL statement. Now use generate anything feature. So uh, here it again talks about the model parameters, completion tokens, and also I think I've already touched it, so I will not spend more time here. You just go ahead and use this. Like, this is a very good link, and this comes from OpenAI, the person who has built the model. So because they have built the model, so it's best that we follow the best practices that what have been passed down from the very person who has developed that. So yeah, just go through this link. It is attached in the PPT I will be sharing. And this is where it becomes crazy that you ask AI itself to write the prompts and to improve the prompt. So you tell AI itself that, hey, act as a prompt engineer, and your task is to improve the prompt that I have gave you. And your task is to tell me if I have missed something. Your task is to ask me questions. Here is my original prompt. Now you tell me what should be the best to get the final output. So we will use AI itself to improve the prompts. And this is the cheat code that I want each and every one of you guys to use. So whatever prompt that you think that you have written, just ask the LLM to improve it. Ask the LLM to have, if you want to ask any questions about the ambiguities, go ahead and ask. And then LLM will refine your prompt, and this will definitely give you the best results. So we are using AI to outsmart AI. Funny, right? Now we come and we talk about some of the common tools that we have in the AI space. ChatGPT being one of the tools that I think almost everyone has his hands on. So ChatGPT, I think almost all of you have worked upon it, but I'm not sure if all of you now know about the full potential of ChatGPT, especially the new model, the 5.2. Some people might have access to this, some people might not, depending upon the kind of subscription that you have. But still, I think even the previous version should have the feature that I'm talking about now. So now, when I say ChatGPT is an agent, previously you just write some prompts here and it gives you the answer back upon it. But now there are multiple tools which have been integrated in ChatGPT, and you can see them in here in apps. So now the ChatGPT agent has access to all these tools: Canva, Adobe Photoshop, Apple Music, Figma, Spotify, Trip Advisor, Trip Planner. All you need to do here is, while you interact with ChatGPT, you just write an @ and then you will be able to tag what you need to do. Like from Adobe Photoshop, let's say you want to edit some picture using Adobe Photoshop, select it, give the prompt, give it the picture, and it will try to use Adobe Photoshop to edit that. Obviously, because some of these tools might require subscription, so people might need subscription around it. But my goal here was to just to let you guys know that if these things are possible with it, so with these integrations, now this is a much more powerful tool than what it used to be. You click here, and now you see multiple modes here. First is that create image. Obviously, now you can create images with AI. Then we have the one that I want to talk about is this deep research. So what this deep research does, these deep research look through over the internet for things that you want. So suppose you, as a researcher, wants to do research on a particular topic. uh, let's say that what you want to do, that I want to check, I want to create a report encapsulating encapsulating all the major advancements that has been done in AI over past decade. So you tell the LLM, hey, you want to create a report encapsulating all the major advancements that has been made in the past decade. You can mention that include sources, because you would obviously want to verify that. Include sources, and you can add some more instructions if you want, but for now let's just pass it here. uh, and yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not following the best practices here. We can obviously do that, but because we have gone into the research mode, and we have gone into the mode where now LLM itself will ask you question. So first, before even like going ahead what it want to do, it went ahead and first asked couple of questions at his ends. Like, to create a detailed report on major AI advancement over past decade, could you please clarify the following? Are you focusing on specific domain of AI, NLP, computer vision, etc., etc.? So let's try to answer these questions. So for first, let's say I want on NLP. So I will give NLP. For second question, what it talks about, do you want this to focus more on academic breaks through industry, academic industry applications, or both? So let's say I want for industry applications. So I will just give industry applications. Then what level of depth are you aiming? High level, deep technical insight, etc. So let's stick to high level for now. I will do an high level overview. Would you like the report to include timelines, key contribution? Yes. And would you have preferred a format, bullet points, formal report, etc.? So let's just give formal report for now. So when you enter all these five things, now what it has started to do, that it has started searching. So that is what you need to do. You need to go ahead and go into the deep research mode when you want to go ahead and look over the internet for some deep research that you want to do. So now you see it will go ahead and it will try to do sources at his ends. It is going to take some time to for this to get executed, but this is how it is going to happen. And for the people who use ChatGPT, this is the way to do it. For the people who prefer Gemini, you can go here in the Gemini, and what you can do here in the you can go in the in the thinking mode for the maths problem. You can go in the pro mode where you need to work with math and code. And I don't have the subscription, but yeah, you can upgrade for the deep thinking mode that you are seeing here in the ChatGPT as well. So whatever functionality that you essentially see with one agent, you will always see with its other counterpart as well. So always try to find, always try to connect the dots. So people who prefer ChatGPT, now you have a deep research mode and you have a thinking mode, which essentially is for more logical, more mathematical things. just like the tools integration there, now we have the tools integration here as well. And because I don't have the subscription for uh, Gemini, I have it for Chat GPT. But for those who have the subscription for Chat Gemini, one very powerful thing that Google has done, it has just integrated its entire Google Workspace here. So uh, now with at the rate, you see that it has access to Google Calendar, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Drive, etc. So you go ahead and give it a prompt here that, hey, I want to write a document on AI. I want this to get mailed to XYZ person, and it will be able to do everything. You, it is going to generate a doc with Google Docs. It will get uploaded in a Google Drive, and it will be able to send it across the recipient that you want to do. Just exactly like what we discussed on when we were talking about the AI agent. The only thing is that if I go ahead and do that, it is going to take quite a bit time. So I'm not going to demonstrate that because I think we have more things to cover. As you can see, this deep research is essentially taking quite a bit time. It takes time. So yeah. So we discussed about Chat GPT. We discussed about Gemini. Chat GPT is good for writing emails, document, brainstorming ideas, etc. Google, like I mentioned, it's best if you want to work with the Google ecosystem. It connects you across your Google apps. Also, it is very good for generating images. I'm not sure if who follows the AI space, but the person who follows the AI space should be familiar with some of the tools that Google has developed for image generation and video. So we have Nano Banana Pro, which is what Google is using to generate images. We have VO3, which essentially is Google is tools to generate videos. And you go ahead, you try that with free. You have some free attempts there. You will be able to like generate 5 or 10 minutes of video, but I'm not sure about it. But yeah, you can definitely go ahead and check it out. If your work requires that you need AI, you need to generate a video, go ahead and explore that option. You can suppose that you are so you want to develop a content on social media, so you can definitely use AI, and you can use combination of the AI tools to which can help you achieve that. So with Gemini or with ChatGPT, I can simply ask the LLM to generate a script based on this topic, and then I take go ahead and take the script. I pass it to a video generator tool like VO3, and it should be able to generate that video. So the next set of tools, Claude is also the next. The three big, like we have three big players in the AI space for now: OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, and third is Anthropic's Claude. And Claude is very good for coding. I personally use Claude for coding in the GitHub Copilot. So for all the developers out there, you must be working with GitHub Copilot. And I would suggest that use Claude's Anthropic over ChatGPT or Gemini because it is very good there in the VS Code in the agent mode. Now the next tool that I want to discuss is Notebook LM. Now many people don't know about this, but I want like this is an excellent tool for people who are interested in learning, who want to who do research, and people who for students as well. Like this is such a useful tool. Okay, so let me just explain it. So first, like this tool is has been developed by Google. You can simply just search Notebook LM, and you go ahead and click here to try Notebook, and it will come here. And what this tool can do, is that it eliminates the context window restriction that we have. So, like we talked about, that every model has a context window limit. That that context window, if mm, that context window is blown, then LLM is does not work properly. But what this Google Notebook has done, that it has created a persistent storage for all the contents that you are doing, and it has built a system on top of that. So just few moments back, I was showing you this paper, attention is all you need. So what I have done here is that in the sources, I have added this PDF, attention is all you need. And now, the- and this is a huge PDF. If you want to upload this PDF to ChatGPT, it might probably just blow up the context window because it has so many tokens. So let's say you want to ask questions from ChatGPT or any other on Gemini on some of the things that you see here, you won't be able to do that. But with Notebook LM, it is it is such a powerful tool that you go ahead, you upload the document, and you ask the questions from here. Let's say if I want to answer this question, that how does the transformer architecture repress recurrent? So this is a complicated question, but as you can see, I can chat with my PDF, and not just one PDF. You go ahead in the resources section and just see that how much things that you can do. You can upload files, you can upload webs, you can add links to website, you can add links to any YouTube video, you can add document from your Google Drive, link it here, and based on that, you will be able to chat with the document that you have uploaded or the video, ask questions about it. But is this all what it can do? No. This is such a powerful tool, which, let's say for this document, you go and you want to generate a mind map of it. So I have generated a mind map of it, and what this mind map essentially is do. So it's here, see, the transformer architecture predominantly this is predominantly about transformer architecture, right? You go ahead and you see the core concepts. Okay, what is the core concepts? Attention only architecture, no occurrence on convolution, parallelable computation. You have all the things from the architecture, encoder, decoder, common elements. And you can just open this and it will take you to the lowest level. So you will be able to connect dots here. Suppose that you want to like remember things, you want this becomes so powerful. With this, you will be able to recall things very quickly. So this is one of the features that you get with Notebook LLM, with Notebook LM, this mind map and all. But is this only feature? No. You can generate report. You can create a report. You can give the instruction here that if you want to write a blog post about it, you want to do anything, basically just give formatting its instruction and you will be able to generate a report. That is something there. You can generate quiz, it can generate flashcards. So let's just see how long it is taking to generate the flashcard. But it can also generate audio. It can also generate a video of the content that you have done. Now, obviously, these things will you need some subscription. There is some free trial period for the amount of video that you can generate. Google is not going to give you such powerful tool for free. There are some restrictions, one or two video it can generate or couple of videos, I'm not sure. With higher subscription, you will be able to generate more videos from the PDFs that you upload. You can generate audiobooks as well. So just see how many things that you can do and how powerful these tools become for a person who is there in the research field. If you go and just take a subscription of Notebook LLM, even the free version has enough if your requirements are not very high. use this for your research purposes. It's so good. But yeah, it takes some time. So, and we are on shortage of time, so let's not go there. The next tool that I want to talk about is Slides AI. Slides AI is an extension that you can install in your Microsoft PowerPoint, and with Slides AI, it will you can give instructions to generate the tools that to generate the presentation that you want. It will ask for the formatting. You see that here, you want to edit, you want to create a new presentation. Let's say, go ahead and ask to create a new presentation. It will talk about what is the topic, what is the content, instruction, context, outline. So you can customize this in the manner that you want, and you will be able to do that. So barring the time constraint that we have, I would leave this for at your disposal. Go ahead, get your hands dirty with the tools. It is so useful. All these tools are so much useful. And just go ahead and give it a try and try to. So, like one quick suggestion that I will give everyone, that whatever is your work that you're doing, try to use AI to do it more effectively. Just think of what is there at your disposal and use that to do it more effectively. That is one thing that I want you guys to have the key takeaway from today's session. Now I
Sure.
meant,
Okay. Go ahead, Amin. Go ahead.
yeah. So I'll just wrap up quickly. I know the time is going on. Yeah. So now at starting, I promised about that I will come back to this question. Will AI replace you? And the final answer is no. AI will not replace you, but the person who is using AI is most likely to replace you. And this does not come from me. This comes from a person whom I respect very much. He's the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang. So this is his statement. This is not something that I have said from my end, but I pretty much agree with it, that AI is not going to replace you, but the person who is going to use AI will definitely replace you. Yeah.
On that
Now,
note, Aman, there are some questions some people, some participants are definitely asking. And one
sure.
of them is in the presence of multiple soft computing techniques with superior performance, in the presence of multiple soft computing techniques with superior performance, how can one systematically select the most suitable algorithm for a specific